Hey, another banger by your guy. Listen, let me tell you guys something. I had a heartbreak, a massive heartbreak. And I learned some things, man. And I took some time off to really think and contemplate because relationships are hard, brother. They're hard. They're fucking hard. And you know why they're hard? Because most of us don't get coaching. Most of us don't understand the principles of how to succeed in a relationship. And the reason we don't succeed is because we make a lot of mistakes and we don't know how to fix the mistakes. But here, your boy's here because I learned from my failures. And I come back and I give you guys the lessons of the wisdom that I gained from my failures. So I can save you guys a whole lot of pain for a little bit of change. So like, subscribe, share, reach out, people. So top 5 ways to win in the modern relationship. See, one thing you guys have to understand is in the modern relationship, bro, you are facing so many obstacles that men of the past have never had to face. And we are in uncharted territory. See, the mechanisms, men, we're still cavemen. We're still stuck in BC 200. But the women, they're adapting. Quick. And in order to beat the adaptation, what you got to do is stand by the principles of manhood. And the best way to stand by the principle of manhood is always be the bigger man. You always look better in hindsight. See, one of the things I realized, kind of looking back in my relationship, is that sometimes I gave in. When I say gave in, I mean gave in to that reasoning that like, oh, she's talking crazy to me. Well, I'll talk crazy back. Listen, sometimes you don't need to talk. Be the bigger guy. Sit back, let her get it out, and just stay stone faced and be quiet. You know what I realized in my relationship later on? I stopped talking most of the time. Like a lot of times women ask you a question, you gotta understand that question is like a loaded shotgun. And as soon as you say something, she's ready to blast you. But the thing is, if you don't say anything, she has no ammunition. Because let me tell you something, guys. She is studying you way more than you're studying her because you're busy. And we got to go back to my old video, the 80-20 principle. 80% of the time as a man, you need to be focused on making sure resources are in the home and things are protected. And you have lessons and teaching and you're building yourself as a man to be able to guide and lead your future family. Her 80% is focused on you. And then 20% on just like bullshit she focuses on. So you can never win that battle when it comes to a woman in the relationship because she has more time to put focus on you because you're doing the hard lifting. You're carrying the burden of fucking masculinity. So what you need to understand is when she asks you a question, the greatest response to ever give me 48 hours to answer that question. That's how you stop it. That's how you diffuse the whole situation. Because a lot of times when she asks you a question, she's in her emotions. She's thinking 10,000 things a minute. Does he like me? Does he love me? Is he going to take care of me? Is he going to do this? And she just probing to look for you to give a bad answer so she can use that against you. But by you stating, give me 48 hours to think about that question you just asked, it forces her to sit down and think in patience. Damn, was that question I even asking that serious? And chances are, she's not going to remember that question in 48 hours. Because I'll tell you, women just like to pick fights because they need that attention. And they'll take that attention any way they can get it. But you, men, understand. 48 hours. Be the bigger man. Sit back. And don't fall for the bullshit. Don't let her drag you into the emotional battle. Because she's going to beat you every time. Because what you're doing is you battle with logic. That's what we do as men. We battle with reason and logic and facts. They battle with their emotions. And they use the logic that you have taught them against you. Patrice had a whole thing saying that, like, where he was talking about it's like karate school. You teach her how to kick. You teach her how to throw punches. You teach her how to slip. And when you're the master, it's like, man, she can't. When she's young, she can't do nothing to me. When she's young in a relationship, she can't do it. You slipping, dodging. All right, yeah. You turn her on top of her head. And she says, oh, I'm sorry, sensei. And she goes away. But then she comes back and challenges you. But she keeps learning more of your moves as time goes on. And eventually, she gets around when she throws a kick. And you're like, damn, that motherfucker, shit, that was a nice-ass kick. God damn, where the fuck you learn that from? You realize she learned it from you. That's what I'm saying, man. You have to understand. Be stone-faced and just sit back and embrace it. Take it on the chin. Just be all right. Number 2. Expect her to blow up the relationship and don't blame yourself if you did everything right. See, where a lot of guys suffer, and this is where the great heartache and misery of a man comes from when it comes to a relationship or a breakup or whatever the hell. when you don't, I mean, when you give everything you have, it's like playing a football game or any kind of like athletic challenge or sport or anything like that, competition. When you give everything you got, you put all your heart and soul into the fucking game and you lose, you go, oh, it hurts. It fucking hurts. It hurts. I'm telling you, fellas, it fucking hurts. But you need to understand something. The win is in the effort that you put in. Because understand, she's gonna sabotage the relationship long before you sabotage it. Trust me, she's gonna blow. If you are a well-achieving man, if you're successful, you're able to take care of yourself, you're self-sufficient, you got a good career, you got a pathway to riches and status and getting the things that you want out of life. Understand, you're doing the right things. You're doing the right things. When they say you're doing all the right things in life, that's what they mean. You're taking care of your health, you're eating right, you're being diligent with your expenses, your business, you're working, you're building towards the future. When you're doing all these things, you can't beat yourself up when a woman chooses to get the fuck out of there. You can't. You can't. You simply cannot. You will be haunted in your nightmares wondering why she left. And you got to understand, she left because she's goofy. They're goofy. And that's okay. That's why we love them. Because it's like you're helping this goofy person grow up to be a little bit better. So when you have kids eventually, she's less goofy and she understands the challenges of what it's like to be an adult. Because most women don't have to be adults. They really don't. And the reason they don't have to be an adult, as much as a man has to be an adult, is because there's somebody that will always take care of them and come save them. As long as a woman's beautiful, yo, she's good. If she's beautiful, in shape, and she knows how to put on the charm, she'll find something. She'll find somebody that will be willing to take on the load and the burden of the relationship. Because that's what happens with the man. When you get in a relationship as a man, you are putting on the backpack and you're carrying her and she's kicking and screaming, I don't want to. You're like, let's just stop, please. I'm taking you to the promised land. Can you just stop moving so much so I can get us up that hill a little bit easier? But she don't get it. She wants to get up there and walk herself. And then when she realizes it's too hard to walk and you're so far ahead of her, she's like, can you come back down and come get me? It's hard to walk up this hill. And that's what men have to do. That's the challenge that men go through in the modern relationship. 3, listen, y'all, this one's going to be controversial. And I know people are not going to like it. But listen, leave the door open. Leave the door open for her to come back. Especially if she's immature. Especially. Because there's a thing called with time called maturity. And over time, maturity begins to settle in because she goes out there and she realizes not all that stuff in the world that she thought was going to be. Life is a lot harder than she thought. And she goes back and she starts missing because she's crying by herself in the bed and she's tired. I don't want to work. I want somebody to help me just take care of me, make me feel good. And she'll think back to you because you were the man who was taking care of your business. And what you do is you don't give up on her. Now, unless she does something that like is almost unforgivable, like an unforgivable act, like she goes and cheats on you with your best friend, she's stealing money from you, she's trying to sabotage kind of the police. If she does something that's like real like that, then that done deal. But if she just immature and just runs away, brother, listen, she wants you back, but she don't know how to express the emotion because most women rarely meet a man who has a plan in his head for the future and is looking for her best interest. And that's what she's going to realize when she goes out in the world. Most guys ain't looking for her best interest. Most guys are just looking to stick and move. So leave the door open because she's goofy. And understand when she comes back, listen, baby, I understand you're goofy. Here's what you got to do. Make it back up to me. We'll get back to where we were. And leave it at that, man. Because listen, you're going to deal with the same nonsense with every girl you come across. You literally are. There's no such thing as a perfect woman, especially in today's age. There's no such thing as well, first of all, there's no such thing as a perfect human being. Like, we're all flawed people. There's great, how much the greats came and said, we're all flawed, damaged people. And life is messy. So get used to cleaning. 4. This is going to be a little bit of the dark side. A little bit of the dark side. Use her misdeeds against her. Listen, if she did some outrageous things that were like not really harmful, but they were kind of like, dude, are you bleeping kidding me? Scoreboard, write it down. And then when she comes back to you eventually, she's like, please, can you take me back? You're like, oh yeah, I'll take you back. But do you remember this? Back in February 12th of 2024? Yeah, I remember that. How you gonna make that one up? And that's where you use your leverage. Listen, In life, you gotta use leverage whenever you got it, because very rarely in life do you ever have leverage. And when you have it, you use it mercifully or mercilessly, and you do it with love. You don't do it like as a way to punish, but you like when she wants to go, I want to get back to all the things I used to have where I get the no. We gotta start slow. It's like when you fail a class in school, you don't get to come back and just take the test that you failed or the things that you failed. No. You gotta start from day one and you work your way all the way back up to where you can pass the class. And then when you pass the class, you get the credits. Same thing for your girl. The things that she failed at throughout the relationship, you keep a little mental note and you say, okay, man, baby, you did this, and this. So if we can get to these things and we can correct these, you get right back to passing class and be right back to where you were. And she's going to go, oh, no. And she's going to scream and cry and bitch about it. Guess what? Don't let them crocodile's tears fail you, because secretly she's kind of happy that she even got a chance to come back. And I promise you, she'll appreciate you in the long run. But you got to be tough. You got to be stern. With love. With love, though. With love. Always remember, with love, fellas. Don't be spiteful and vengeful and be on some villainary. Do everything with love. Like it's like your little sister. No homo. Or no. What's it called? No incest. And the last one, like I said, everything needs to be done with love and logic. If you want to win in today's modern relationship, love and logic is your best friend. Never do things that are just mean and vengeful. Just be friendly, because understand they're learning. They're trying to figure it out. They don't understand. They're just like you. And most women don't get the same hard knock life that us men do, where we learn these lessons early and often. They usually have to take a little bit of time to figure it out. You understand? They're going to figure it out, but it's going to take some time. You got to be patient. Remember, patience, love, logic, and everything will be peaceful. Thank you for listening. Sayonara.